But usually, you kind of like got to fight for body position a little bit, to touch the ladder as it kind of gets pulled out. And he's a little bit bigger and stronger than who we've normally had around here. So I got my work cut out for me now.
Is this maybe the most excited you've been entering OTAs, knowing just the amount of talent this team has returning this year?
Yeah, I mean, there's always excitement coming in every offseason. I think that, the fact that, you look around and you just, I really love our team. I love the type of guys we have. I love walking in the locker room every day, being around this group. Thought we've had a good offseason thus far. I feel like it's been productive. I feel like we got some talented receivers that we brought in as well to kind of add to the mix of guys that we already had. I think getting Benjamin Watson back was awesome, making the additions we did on defense. Guys like Kurt Coleman and guys that have played against quite a bit, and have a lot of respect for. It's just, this is an exciting time as you watch your team kind of build, see the draft picks come in, and I think for a lot of the young players too, just that jump from year 1 or 2 to year, to the next year, and that learning curve just kind of accelerates. Confidence level raises, and you make some modifications or evolution to your defense, to your offense. You continue to evolve and try to stay ahead of the curve, and you got the things that you're working on. All that stuff gets you excited to come to work every day.
Even the construction noise?
Even the construction noise, yeah. We're dealing with that right now, but hopefully by training camp all that's done.
Were you guys more excited to come back in, given how last season ended, to get off the?
Yeah. I mean, listen, you're always excited, but I think we feel like we've got the makings of what could be, And so now, this is hey. You're starting back at square one, and you just got to build this thing. I mean, you don't start where you left off. Yes, we feel like we've got the pieces in place, but we also understand that, man, this is a game of inches, and you've got to set the tone now for a successful season. You have to build the foundation now. You've got to develop the good habits now. And so we understand there's still, so much work ahead of us, and so there's a sense of urgency each and every day to improve and get better and just to stay ahead.
Drew, can you think of a significant moment in your prior OTAs that did truly carry over to whether it be camp or the season?
Yeah. I mean, there was a stretch there, like 9, 10, 11, where, man, it was real competitive, like times where you'd walk off the field and be like, man, I hate our defense, like just stuff that happened. It was just like you were fired up, they were fired up, and it was just, but that competition, that like just being at each other, you felt like, man, we're playing it each and every snap like it's a game, like it's a real game, like we're trying to beat them, we're trying to prove something, and that's a good mentality to have, because then by the time you get to the season, you feel like you've, iron sharpens iron, you've both prepared each other to go out there and be successful. And I sense the making of that right now.
Do you have any, Sean said you guys are going to think about the national anthem thing. I know it just came out yesterday, but did you have any reaction to that coming out?
I think you guys know where I stand. I think I've made myself very clear.
But now that
I will be standing up with my hand over my heart, showing respect to the United States of America and the flag and everything it stands for.
do you think that the teams have to kind of come up with their own policies now, risk fines and stuff like that? I mean, do you expect to play a leadership role?
I'm really not too worried about it. I mean, I would expect that everybody's going to be out there with their hand over their heart, showing respect to the flag and to the country.
Drew, what have you liked about Cam Meredith?
We've seen. Can't say I've seen a ton, just because he's still coming off the injury and slowly making his way back. But I like talking to him. I like his attitude. I like what I've seen, from his prior film. I like his size, his strength. I think he fits this system well. I think we're going to be able to do a lot of things with him. So now it's just a matter of us getting that time on task together and building that chemistry.
What were your early thoughts just on Boston Scott? Your early thoughts on
Boston
Scott?
He's doing well. He's doing well. I think obviously the running back position, we have a chance to do a lot of things with those guys. They're versatile guys, So we getting a lot of reps, you know. So we'll just continue to develop.
Drew, you've shrugged off some record questions in
Yep.
recent years, but this year, pretty early in the season, you're on pace to become the NFL's all-time passing leader.
Yep.
How special is that?
Try not to think about that, you know, just trying to think about obviously taking care of business one day at a time. Then as the season rolls around, you know, you take it 1 week, one game at a time, and, you know, eventually those things add up, they stack up, and then there you are in a position to do it. But again, there's so many things, there's so many people that are a part of that, there's so many things that come into play with that. I'd rather reflect on that stuff down the road, you know, and for now just focus on one day at a time.
You seem to be aware of it, though. Like, you knew that
Yeah.
you were in striking distance. I mean,
Yeah.
is that one almost too hard to even wrap your mind
Well,
around?
there's a reason they put week 5 on Monday night, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't think any of us are dummies, but just, again, take it one game at a time, and we'll see how it shakes out.
You could ruin those plans, though.
What's that?
You could ruin those plans for the network.
It's hard math, actually.
Well, if we do ruin them, hopefully it's because we got it the week before and not the week after.
Is there anything anything major you changed about your off-season preparation this year?
No, nothing major. Little things, little tweaks. Again, just focusing on really being very focused and diligent and disciplined on my training and my recovery as it pertains to making me the best quarterback I can be. You know, anything and everything that I do, if it doesn't make me a better quarterback or a better leader in this locker room, it's a waste of time, right? So those are the things I have to focus on and be very efficient with my time, because I've got a wife, I got 4 kids, I got a lot of things going on in my life, and so the balance of life is crucial. And so when I'm training, when I'm away from them, when I'm focusing on this, I just want it to be as efficient as possible.
You mentioned a second ago how dynamic the running back is on this team. How much does this group have to do to kind of make up for the loss of Mark Ingram?
Well, for the first 4 games, yeah. I mean, we'll see how that plays out. Obviously, we hate to miss a guy like that. He's such a huge part of what we do, and such a great teammate too, and such a well-loved guy. You know, I mean, you hate to not have him for that period of time. So we'll manage, and we'll figure. I don't have an answer right now. You know, we'll see how that shakes out as we go along here. But I know, as far as right now goes, I know Mark's doing what he needs to do to get himself ready to play the season. He's doing what's best for him, and therefore that's what's best for the team. So I've spoken with Mark a few times, you know, over the last couple weeks, and I mean, I've got a good understanding of where he's at, where he's trying to be, and then obviously once we get into the season, we'll figure out how we handle the first 4 weeks, and then, you know, we'll get him back and we'll get rolling again.
Drew, obviously had an incredibly efficient year last year. I mean, what do you think you can do to get better this season?
Well, I think you said it. The efficiency aspect of it is, I think, is very key. Being that, you know, you never know from week to week how it's going to play out. I mean, listen, I hope we can run the ball as well as we did last year, you know, with the complement of Mark and AK and whoever else might be in the mix, you know, because that just adds balance to your offense. That, you know, that makes it to where, hey, maybe a guy like me doesn't have to take as many chances as I've had to take in the past at times, you know, and because there's risk reward with that, right? So I think for me it is about efficiency. It's about how do I get us in the end zone, you know, and if that means handing it off 70% of the time down the field, and then, you know, taking some completions, converting a 3rd down or 2, and then making a throw into the end zone, whatever it might be, you know, I have to be ready to do whatever I'm called on to do. And I feel like I've, in my, you know, going on 13 years here now, that we've been in a lot of different roles, you know, where there's times where, hey, we're running the ball well, and can be a bit more, you know, balanced and just think more efficiency, as opposed to, you know, we got to push the ball down the field, or else, you know, it's just not, you know, we're not going to win. But listen, I love balance.
Last question, guys.
What's your design?
Because you didn't throw as much last year, I mean, was the off-season recovery easier at all this year?
I mean, it's still, I still take the same approach, you know, that same amount of time where just kind of get away from football, get out of the weight room, just, you know, kind of recharge my battery, you know, set a plan for what I want to do during the off-season. I mean, you're always kind of back to square one from the standpoint that so much of our game is about fundamentals, you know, and just laying the foundation each and every off-season by which you can then build as you go along.
Thank you.
Thank you.